Yang berhormat Pengiran Datin Syazainah binti Pengiran Datuk Paduka Sharifuddin of the Brunei Darussalam Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies and Chair of the ASEAN Institutes of Strategic and International Studies, ASEAN ISIS Network. Heads and members of the ASEAN ISIS Network, Excellencies, distinguished panelists and delegates, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Selamat pagi and a very good morning. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the Asia-Pacific Roundtable. If you are here from abroad and for the first time, then welcome to Malaysia and to Kuala Lumpur. The loyal supporters of the APR, welcome back. This roundtable is organized by ISIS Malaysia in cooperation with the ASEAN ISIS Network, made up of Southeast Asia's leading think tanks. The ASEAN ISIS Network is the only think tank network of its kind to be officially recognized and registered with the ASEAN Secretariat. The network has a history of proactive, influential work in stimulating and facilitating the necessary conversations and research leading to greater economic integration and security cooperation in the region. We do this through our much cherished Track 1.5 and Track 2 engagements. It is my earnest hope that we, the current and even future generations of ASEAN ISIS leaders, carry on this trend as the region continues to evolve and grow, and with it, our priorities and, of course, challenges. As we celebrate the 36th edition of the APR this year, we are happy that we can once again convene in person. I know this sounds a bit like a broken record, but I think it bears repeating. In 2020, the APR was postponed for the first time ever in its now approaching 4-decade history because of the global pandemic. In 2021 and 2022, the roundtable was held virtually. The track record of this roundtable speaks for itself. We have, through many, many years of hard work, developed a niche and reputation that is recognized worldwide and as one of the most important annual Track 2 conferences of its kind in this region. Since its inception over 3.5 decades ago, the APR has grown significantly in scope, depth, and size, regularly attracting the participation of policymakers, thought leaders, intellectuals, scholars, officials, journalists, and interested individuals to address strategic issues concerning the Asia-Pacific and the world at large. The Asia-Pacific Roundtable provides the opportunity for bringing together some of the best minds in the region and from different parts of the world to stimulate frank discussions, serious policy debate, and networking across a broad spectrum of topics. While the bulk of role players and delegates have generally come from Southeast Asia and the wider Asia-Pacific, the Asia-Pacific Roundtable has seen a steady, and I think this is very positive, a steady and growing following from North America, Europe, South Asia, and more recently, the Middle East. The continued success of the Asian-Pacific Roundtable is greatly attributed to the support given by successive Malaysian prime ministers and the government, as well as the region's leaders. I pause to express my profound appreciation and gratitude to the Honorable Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, Prime Minister of Malaysia, who has agreed to deliver the keynote address of this conference tomorrow morning. And I think I cannot stress how significant this is, considering that that will be just one day before the eve of the elections in the various states of Malaysia. This will not be, of course, his first time speaking at the Asia-Pacific Roundtable. Dr. Sri Anwar delivered the keynote at the 8th Asia-Pacific Roundtable in 1994 and participated as speaker in the 11th Asia-Pacific Roundtable in 1997 as Deputy Prime Minister then. Distinguished delegates, this year's theme, An Age of Strategic Uncertainty, was selected after much deliberation. While we do not seek to be alarmist or overly dramatic, the theme is an almost honest and as near as possible reflection of the regional, geopolitical, and geo-economic environment that we find ourselves in. The questions and challenges that come with it perhaps affect those of us from small and medium states more than others. What can small and medium states do in the face of increasingly contested and challenging realities? Do we have the agency to mitigate the worst of these trends? I submit that it might be difficult, but it is nonetheless incumbent on us to give it everything we have. What we need to face are the facts as they are and attune it to what we would like it to be. The cost of continued bifurcation of regional mechanisms and architectures to the spheres of old, once thought a far-flung fantasy in the post-Cold War, era, would be exponentially devastating to all of us. In the face of this age of uncertainty, groupings like ASEAN, perhaps in greater collaboration with other regional groupings from around the world, and like-minded countries and international stakeholders should double down on the inclusive, multilateral mechanisms and establish norms and principles of international law. Ladies and gentlemen, in that spirit, we have curated up to 7 sessions of the 36 APR, 5 plenaries, and 2 concurrent sessions. Lest we miss the forest for the trees, these deliberations address both the broader themes impacting our current and future strategic calculus, as well as more granular issues. There is no greater uncertainty than the prospects of rivalry, and I'm getting to the elephant in the room now. There is no greater uncertainty than the prospects of rivalry between Beijing and Washington, potentially headed towards inevitable conflict. Nevertheless, let us not be held captive in our discourse by the fear of the so-called Thucydides trap. As the great French writer Michel de Montaigne once said to the effect, there is nothing to fear but fear itself. This is often associated with a quote by FDR, but actually we deep down and go behind it is Montaigne first, and then Francis Bacon as well. So some penetrating questions come to mind in this regard. Are there still enough common interests between the two powers to stymie further bifurcation? What could the future of trade and investment in the Asia-Pacific look like? Especially mechanisms and initiatives like the RCEP, or known as the RCEP, the CPTPP, and of course the well-known BRI, amidst such geopolitical fray and rivalry and potential conflict. How will the continual evolution of the Indo-Pacific construct, yet another source of much discourse, slowly but surely embraced by more countries in the Asia-Pacific and their key partners from afar, affect our, or will it mitigate these strategic certainties? But just to be sure, if anyone was still curious, let me put it to rest. No, there are no plans to rename the Asia-Pacific Roundtable to the Indo-Pacific Roundtable. Yeah. I mean, this is not a race to the bottom. I mean, it's not a game of a one-upmanship, or one-up-womanship. This is about trying to collaborate in the best way possible and to engage in rational intellectual discourse based on the realities that are facing us. Now, drilling it down further, we explore how such tensions have impacted the South China Sea, disputes and the prospects or limitations to Southeast Asian countries, and an intensification of competition in the semiconductor and other critical tech industries. And as we mark the 50th anniversary of ASEAN-Japan relations, we ask how Japan's strategic, ever-changing outlook and corresponding policies will in turn affect long-standing cooperation with Southeast Asia. Last but not least, amidst all these regional and global developments, let us not take the eye off the ball in our own region. Our third plenary this afternoon examines the domestic developments in selected Southeast Asian countries, Myanmar, the Philippines, and Thailand, and their ramifications on both national and regional policies. These are some of the issues that we will discuss over the next 2 days, and I, for one, look forward to them. Distinguished delegates, let me now take this opportunity to express our sincere thanks and gratitude to the distinguished instigators. I really like this term, instigator. I mean, under normal circumstances, if you use the Sedition Act, when you have the word instigator, you'll be put under arrest immediately. But here, we are instigating our brains here. So instigators and speakers, profound appreciation for your readiness to share with us, and of course your time, knowledge, and expertise in so many ways, and for your tremendous contribution towards enhancing the richness of the discussions during the roundtable. Round of applause, please. I said this last night, and I don't think there is any harm in repeating this, because I really wish to extend, on behalf of the organizers, on behalf of ASEAN ISIS, on behalf of ISIS, and also personally, extend profound, heartfelt thanks and appreciation to our partners, Australian Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the delegation of the European Union to Malaysia, the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Embassy of the People's Republic of China, the New Zealand Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, the Embassy of Japan and Malaysia, and the Embassy of the United States. Generous contributions and assistance have once again made it possible for us to convene the Asia-Pacific Roundtable successfully. I also thank, of course, our colleagues in ASEAN ISIS for their unwavering support. For those who attended the welcoming dinner yesterday, you heard me underscore the APR's so-called 3 core pillars of support, namely from successive Malaysian prime ministers, our partners and funders, and of course, the hard-working staff of ISIS. Allow me to add a 4th pillar, if I may. You, our dear and respected delegates, your very presence here, your concerned support, your continued collaboration with us, and of course, as we look forward to your active participation. You have played a huge part in making the APR what it is today, and I would like to express our appreciation. Finally, probing, thoughtful questions and insightful interventions from the floor are vital components of a conference. It is such essential inputs that form the distinctive hallmark of the Asia-Pacific Roundtable. I am confident that the discussions will be as lively and engaging, if not more lively and more engaging, as in the past. I wish all of us a fruitful 36th Asia-Pacific Roundtable. Thank you.